The Cherub Boy of Baltimore. A lonesome boat, by Allah's will, bless his courtesies. A lonely ship spied sitting still, packed with Portuguese. El Hajj Ali. Scull, ye sallow sons of whores, to briskly scud the brine. Rouse to row, ye torpid oars, secure that bootle mine. Drummer, drum thou heaviest, to galvanise these wretches. Want thy drum to spur the scum, as Allah's willed us riches. Thump, 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 thump. Every beat banged as a bomb, every pound a boom, like heartbeats of the devil's mum to maggots in her womb. Thump, thump, thump. Fast we rode, and we rode fast in Satan mother's womb. Faster for the thundered blast, pummelling our doom. With each beat a thundered blast that rocked 100 neath the mast, as everyone paid this their last time trapped in this tomb. Each clamoured dom, a hammer on a convict's coffin nail, vibrating the rib cages of this famished floating jail. I rode an automaton, a machine whipped into gear, soulless and forsaken, with no feeling saving fear. I rode in automatic mode, my will was one of clay, a man of mud but full of blood that flowed to wash away. I rode in automatic mode, most brutal was his flay, half drained of blood, but on I rode to capture him his prey. Yet still on whipped the skipper, in belief the boat had slowed, roaring to row quicker at us human dynamos, till claret ran a river, downward every back it flowed. It gushed in gory rivulets, as never eased the cane, from 100 sundered sick units with whip-gashed open veins, whose injuries were amplified as yanked the ankle chains. Blooded bodies agonised, but still bade brave the strain. Rancid rats drank all they wished, as captives leaped from getting lashed, and every man the skipper swished was weakened up until we crashed into the fishing ship. Odin praised for mercy's slight, when we could pause the pulling plight to sit and watch the corsairs fight and slay whilst we relaxed. My wearied eyes saw killing sprees, but pitied not the Portuguese, just watched them pitifully plea with pirates who beheaded 3. I had no feelings left to feel for those poor men in their ordeal, not of horror nor of hate, I simply stared at their dire fate. The only thing I perceived real was of a wound that wouldn't heal, as if was whipped my very soul to leave a husk and heartless hole. I'd no remorse, sat cold and calm, as we set course to Dar el Islam. I could not care, compassion void, as 12 more honest lives destroyed. 3 were dead that made a stand, the rest's hair shaved of this poor band of timids, stiff with solid fear, when sighted they my severed ear. And blindside of the angel's face, the angel that had fell from grace, whose beauty was self-sacrifice, try halter pervert appetite. 9 shorn crowns of whining sounds, as wise to enormities. They shrieked in fright at the twin sight of our deformities. They shrieked at our deformities, the cherub boy and I, and by the panicked Portuguese the cherub cracked to cry. The anchor splashed to spell asleep, was still the cherub wet in weep. He wept set on his bed of wood, and I wept too, for wish I could give comfort, for he comfort yearned, as just a boy, and yet was spurned, because of deeds was forced to do, deeds that only devils knew, deeds a devil had him learn, and when grotesque the devil turned him out his harem into hell, half gargoyle in a hell ship's shell. But bless the boy whose comfort yearned, for him my pity had returned, and I forgave him his disgrace, him with half an angel's face. I forgave and gave God thanks for he who joined our chain-linked ranks, who sat asleep, sad and neglected, on his bench, raped, then rejected. I thank for feelings back injected, even though a French objection from Hajj Ali I vowed protection. Precious little I could give, but I would try, persuading others to forgive. I would try. I'd try to get the boy to live. I dreamt in my discomfortness the past to when it wasn't thus, back to when my battered being could scarce believe what it was seeing. He glowed, as if was cast from molten gold, unsullied golden Thomas mould, foreboding that his flawless charms would scar in scores degenerate arms. I had not seen such a golden aura in not another Odin's fauna. Brighter than his home in flare blazed the halo of his hair. The very air about him gleamed, a cuffed sunbeam, or so it seemed, a ray of beauty snared in shackles, captured by the Corsair jackals. On the thieving ship he shone, and tried to joke with everyone, but jokes transmogrified to tears when we landed in Algiers. What deeds done to that blonde cherub by the dark and dismal Arab? What happened soured that happy soul, that fair of heart came cold as coal? What guttered torture did they make to change his mien to one of ache? From of wonder to of woe, what wicked way was forced to go? What hellish torment did they there to drain him of his vibrant flare? What did they do for he to go so staggeringly scarred? What abuse for he to use a smashed amphora shard? Why didn't God smite down the sod that bred degrading shame, to keep a flawless face intact and not what he became? Why did that one have to endure such a callous fate? The Cherub Boy of Baltimore by the caliphate. Why did that elf so fine and pure have to self-mutilate? Answered by a water boy, himself from Baltimore. He was to be the Sultan's toy, with vicious worse in store, was doomed to supply a Sultan's joy, and could not take no more. El-Hajj Ali. Esteemed guests, I've one request on this superb excursion. A finer trip travelling my ship awaits with one's conversion. A luscious time served in the sun is yours with a submission. To Allah, come embrace Islam to swell my expedition. Come up to join our peaceful creed, share all things we have, as brothers and as brothers need to join the joy jihad. Your choice, relief with real belief, or stay and slowly fester. Your choice, acceptance and rejoice, or death by next semester. Jon Oddsson. 5 Portuguese apostatized, 4 were bastinadoed, 4 Malta's pain got optimised by 5 new renegados. They beat friends' feet, 2'd never walk, and 2 a distant stiffened stalk, and slit 4 tongues so none could talk, on cudgelled buttocks shuffled sore, to sit silent on a vacant oar. Days ago those piscatos, life was at the sea. Now they had no life to live, and suffered same as we. No life save one of torture, of terror, toil and tensions, as best they could to endure our captors' cruel intentions. Not men no more, but motors, to power the Barbary, pinched by pirate poachers and dismantled to debris. Not men, but men-shaped engines, meat machinery, in permanent detentions till death will set them free. Like us they'll find they'll never feel a moment's gentle peace, a life of grind with no appeal, grief only to increase, and wish to end of their ordeal with a reaper's grim release. And we rode on.